Hey, what's up, Veronica? Already? Oh no. All right, we know how this go. Veronica, can you hear me? Hold up, y'all. I'm just getting settled here. Hey, what's up, Andre? Grace Flow. Good, Veronica, you can hear me. Shondell, what's up? Austin Morgan, what's up? Welcome. Son Goku, welcome. Spiritual High, welcome. Jesse, welcome. Avium, hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Leah Logan, welcome. Y'all just bear with me a little bit. I'm trying to get my setup on this end and sync with this. And I'm also trying to notify my Facebook family and friends. Because y'all know they don't notify everybody when I do these things. But in the meantime, y'all can chat amongst yourselves. I got some very interesting things I want to talk about, share with you guys, and answer some of your questions. Hey, Michelle, Rainbow Star Sea Pharaoh, what's up? Jamie Marie, what's up? All right, as y'all come in, please, by all means, hit that like button and make sure your like sticks. It's showing that I have 21 people in the room, but only 12 likes. What's up? Hit that like button, y'all. I mean, I drop some serious gems in these videos. My videos should definitely be circulating way more than what it does because I see people on here faking the funk, all kind of fraudulent, having hundreds of likes in the first 10 minutes. Now, come on now. If we're going to change this tide, we need more of us getting behind those of us who have been consistent in who we are, how we present ourselves, and what we talk about. Especially now, because what we're seeing with everything that's going on, a lot of people are operating in fear and they are backpedaling. And I'm going to talk more about that. This part, when I talk about this part in this live stream, it is definitely inspired by New Life. Special shout out to New Life. That brother is a modern day shaman. Real recognizes real. He had done a video talking about the what I call the bait and switch in the so-called woke conscious community. And it's one thing to come to some kind of revelation that you're supposedly going down the wrong path, but when you go about trying to throw another or an entire community or an entire movement under the bus to come across as fair seemingly, I got a problem with that, and I'm going to talk more about that later. All right, so let me see if I can link this to my Facebook family and friends, and then we can get started. Again, 23 people in the room, but only 19 likes. And I can't even honestly say there are only 23 people in the room. It's based on what they're showing. Okay, I'll get into your questions near the end. Oh, you missed when I take breaks? That was kind of, well, yeah, I do take breaks. You guys know me by now. And I don't make it known that I'm taking breaks. I like to be spontaneous because I know I'm being watched. And the thing is, with these particular people, how they think, it's best to always not show what the right hand is doing because they're very, what's the word? They're very mechanical in their thought process. They think like computers and they make moves like computers and they set up computers to operate like them. You see? Yo, bro, yes, bro, Yosef. He's one of the few, in my humble read, in my humble opinion, one of the few who's out there that's real and lives what he talks about. And that's my honest read on that one. I'm not in the business of throwing names out there and getting into all that kind of stuff. You guys, one of the things that I've always wanted to do is to get you guys to think for yourself, to be independent thinkers, to not think like me. What I do is I give tools and I give you suggestions and ideas, and I even give you techniques on how to discern and pick these things out and pick up on these things for yourself. Unfortunately, a lot of people have not learned true discernment. And so we see a lot of people out here following who's popular, following celebrities, following people with material gains and so-called clout. And that's surface stuff. I'm not operating on the surface. They want people out there influencing the masses who operate on the surface, who feed and glorify the surface. I don't do that. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not suggesting or implying that I don't enjoy surface things every now and then, but when it comes to what's going on now and what I've sacrificed and put my life, my livelihood, and everything on the line to make myself present in the world to talk about, no, I'm not into that superficial, mindless crap and chasing and making moves for clout and popularity and for sex and all this stuff that I see going on and being seen going on for a very long time. It's just starting to now come to the surface. And you guys will see, and you're seeing, because I get emails and messages from you guys all the time where you see things that I talked about like 10 years ago, which was seen as crazy and ridiculous. Then you see all these people coming in, getting, legions of followers and praise and adulation and getting rich and popular, talking about something that ain't new at all. So, I hear these people talking about the new age and all this stuff. There's nothing new going on down here. You can take what is ancient and old and piece it together and formulate your own unique way of seeing things, right? But it doesn't not make it new. It's just your own unique ingredient that makes you uniquely you and what shapes your perception of what we perceive or believe to be reality. And also, I got a couple of moderators in here. I want to set them up too. So, guys, give me a little minute. I'm busy talking. Let me do less talking and get this thing together for now, and then we can really get into it. "33 people in the room and only 21 likes. What's up with that, y'all? And I haven't even notified my Facebook family and friends yet. I'm having a little hiccup here. Where am I? Where am I? Hey, what's up, Earth Avatar? Revamped Skunk, what's up, fam? Balance 0212, what's up? Thank you. I appreciate that, Veronica. You guys who have been consistently supporting me, I appreciate you. Most of you guys I talk to every now and then. You guys know how much I appreciate the consistent support, no doubt. Light Flavor, what's up? Copa the Trooper, what's up? Welcome. I'm going to answer questions at near the end of the live because I got a lot I want to cover first. Okay, I figured it out how to share the link directly from where I am. All right, 39 people in the room and 30 likes. Okay, somebody asked a lot of new popular spiritual woke YouTubers say that white people are soulless. I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about that, most definitely. Because when we talk about souls, you got to go skin deep at this point in the game. At one time, that had relevance. That had a lot of truth, but not where we are now. So, yeah, I'll talk more about that near the end. And I'm also going to talk about this 144,000 that a lot of people talk about as well, because I think the reason why people are so quick to separate who has a soul and who doesn't is because they're basing it off of that 144,000 figure that has been thrown around, and a lot of it has been taken out of context. But trust me, there are way more than 144,000 souls on the planet. Way more. At this point, I must specify at this point. Again, I will get more into it as more people come in. All right, 40 people in the room and 38 likes. Okay, that's looking better. It's getting there. Come on. Who's in here and ain't hit that like button or hit that like button and it was undone? What's up? Can you guys see me well? Thank you. Good to see me live. Let me just say right off the bat, I had not done a video in 2 months. That was not intentional. What happened was that I became so overwhelmed with my creative ideas, like so many ideas. Like I felt so inspired and motivated like I haven't in a long time. And when I get like that, that's like the all is giving me something that I must bring into fruition. And it's so much and it's so many layers that I threw myself into it and it became the priority. Now, mind you, what I'm getting is absolutely still a part of what it is that I'm doing and what I'm about, but just in a different capacity. It's going to work in a different way. The other thing is that even when you guys don't see me posting or making videos, which is a lot of work, and I ain't gonna lie, sometimes I just don't feel like doing it, especially after I spent all day working in a different capacity. I also still do readings, and I have lives with some of you guys still. And I'm still mentoring and I'm still doing work to hold my family together because I'm very, very pro family. You guys know that. And helping my family and friends. So this is ongoing. The work for me never stops. And even when I go to sleep, okay, I'm still working. I just don't talk about it as much because, again, in the midst of spiritual warfare, you can't be talking and showing the left hand what the right is doing and vice versa. Because, again, I'm very clear on who's watching us. And I'm not afraid of it at all. I know what it's about and I know what it is. So, speaking of fear, again, you see, or we see a lot of people who are literally acting out of their minds, right? Now, you guys who've been watching me for years, you know I have repeatedly said that when things really escalate, you're going to see those who seemingly go off the rails and lose their minds. And these are those of us who did not put in the work to work on building character, building a strong sense of self, building a strong sense of family, a strong sense of foundation, those who are out of balance, and so on and so forth, those who clung to material things and artificial mind altering things to numb. And this is not a judgment. I'm just citing. I'm in messenger mode now. I'm not judging or condemning anybody. Y'all know I don't do that. But I have to speak it in the way that it is coming through. Those who did not put in the work to build thicker skin and did not build healthy relationships and a healthy connection with themselves and the all, whatever their faith or whatever, if that was not a genuine connection, these are the people who are having the hardest time right now. I don't care what your belief system is or what the God you believe in is. If it is anchoring you and making you get thicker skin and making you courageous and giving you ideas and inspiration to navigate in this world without barely a bruise or scar, you've done it right for you. Like I said, there's no one formula, one belief system, one size fit all when it comes to this. Now, I know there are those people out there with these different belief systems who are going to tell you otherwise. But what I always say, don't listen to what people say. Look at what fruits they're producing. I don't care their race, age, sexuality, because there's a lot of that BS going on with people judging based on sexuality, as if someone who is gay or bisexual or transgender can't be a vessel for spirituality. Again, that's people on that surface level. They don't have their mind's eye activated to see deeper than that. Because when we really become woke, we will understand, understand, ultrastand why we have different expressions down here and why they take on these extreme limitations. But on a soul level, these are some of the most powerful, mightiest beings you will ever come across in your soul journey. And that's a fact. And so these people who are out here training and manipulating the public into throwing and judging entire communities based on the bad apples of a few, they're working to keep this matrix. And I don't care what color shade they're in, they're all in on it on a soul level. Trust me when I tell you, just because someone has my shade doesn't mean they have me or our people's best interests at heart. Because behind that shade could be some of the most demonic entities you can find anywhere in the universe. It's the same with anybody, not just people of color or white people, everything in between. The lines have been very blurred because there has been a lot of genetic engineering going on this planet, gene splicing, all kind of stuff. So we're all some of everything. Well, just about all of us, with the exception of those who are at the very, very top manipulating everything. They're keeping their stuff pure, but there's a price to pay with the way they've been going about doing that. So we are all some of everything. So if I'm going to hate somebody who's Caucasian, I hate myself because I had Caucasian blood just like most African Americans in this country. How it got there is not even it is important, but in this regard, it doesn't matter how it got there. It is here. It is an extension and a part of who I am. Asian, I have Asian, Caucasian, some of everything in my family bloodline. As a matter of fact, truth be told, we melanated people carry the gene, the sisters, the woman, the so-called black, and I hate using that term, but I'm just going to say it for the sake of better understanding. It is the sisters carry the gene for all of the races on the planet anyway. So what you're looking at when you look at something based on race, you're just looking at a genetically modified or variation of the same nucleus. This is what I've always said. We are just variations of the same nucleus. So when you got these race hustlers and bustlers and these fake pro-blacks, and I see them, you notice these people never asked me to come on their show because they know I will see right through the BS. These fake pro-blacks, these white supremacists, I'm calling them all out. Those who built massive platforms off of bashing another group or putting down another group. If your politic, your God, and your what you represent is so powerful, you wouldn't have to be bashing and putting down and keeping negative smoke on another group to sing fair singly. See, I see through that BS. And this is again why they hide away people like me, because they don't want me having that kind of influence. Because y'all see, my audience is some of everything. If you resonate with what I'm bringing and who I am, and you're not caught up in what I look like, what my sexuality is, you woke. If you're not caught up in all this mindless crap they keep throwing your way, and you can still see the good in somebody, no matter who they are, what they do, you have Christ level conscious. I hear a lot of people using that term, but they're truly not expressing or magnifying that. So again, I encourage you guys to stop looking on the surface. Stop looking at what all that glitters is not gold. And what's the saying? It's like putting lipstick on a pig. A pig is what a pig is. Putting lipstick on it ain't going to turn into a beautiful woman. All right. So, okay. Let me bring it down a little bit, and I'm going to tell you where a lot of this passion is coming from as well, because what I see and what I told you guys, look at my video. I've talked about it in different ways over the years, but the most recent video I've done on it was a little over 4 years ago when I did a video called Mass Deception, the Wars on the Mind or something like that. And I talked about a time when they would create all of these beasts and all of this superiority complex propaganda, and will then have their followers fighting against one another because they are polarizing. Again, you notice who do well on these platforms, even if they're violating all of YouTube and Google's guidelines, they still keep a platform. There's a brother, I'm not going to say the name, y'all know who he is. This brother has been on YouTube for years, literally saying how much he hates black women and saying some of the most heinous things. Okay, but this brother is not only still on YouTube with a massive audience, okay, but he's gotten rich. Okay, so you can tell who is really helping to feed the beast, who is representing the beast. And some of them are not consciously aware that they are being used in this way, because all they have to do is put a carrot and dangle a carrot and some temporal material gains. That mess you can't take with you. The only thing we take with us when we leave this world is what we've learned in our connections with loved ones and the relationships that we've had. This is why you ever wonder why you cannot write off what you learn in a bankruptcy, or they will not let you off the hook with that. Because unlike a house, a car, your clothes, and all this material stuff, when you leave and when you vacate this vessel, either by a trauma or you leave on your own, or someone come and take you, everything that you had remains here in the matrix, right? But what you learn, they can't take that from you, right? So here's why they say, okay, well, we can't take that from one. You can't unlearn what you learned. So they're going to have to pay that debt in full. And even if you don't pay it, they'll try to pin it on your family member or the executor of your estate or whatever, you still on a hook for that. That's the only thing you cannot write off. Now ask yourself, why is that so? It's for those who say, oh, once you dead, and all this BS. Why do you think they would do that? There was another brother who came in, and I'm not throwing him under the bus. He was questioning me about astral projection, if it's real and prove it and all this kind of stuff. And he made a point that if he had it his way, he would round people up like me and take me to court to prove what I say is real. Now, mind you, I'm not going in their territory forcing them to see or accept anything. I do these videos to people who are already experiencing it or have experienced it, and they want to, for the most part, understand it, right? So he said, I would like to take you to court for you to prove what you said. And this is what I said. I'm going to say it to all you guys, and it's tied to what I was just saying. I sarcastically and jokingly said, with a smile, oh, so you want to take me to court for me to prove some of the very same things that the court system literally was built off of. Why? Because one, the court, what they do before you get on the stand, you swear before what? You basically swear before the court over what? The Bible, right? The Bible has a lot talk when they talk about visions and God took them here and there, whether they're fabricated or not. I'm not going to get into that part of it. The truth of the matter is that those stories are in that very same book in the course. Now, I'm going to tell you something else that I made clear to him. I said, so you want to take me to court to prove that some of the very same things that I talk about that is recorded in the very same book they built the court system off of, they swear precedents over, okay? But the difference is the Bible that they had is definitely going to be a different version than what you had, because you got all these different many antiquated versions of the Bible out there. You best believe they got the real stuff. But they talk about in stories in there when men talk about having visions and going to other realms and dimensions, going to the heavens, which is really talking about going to another plane of consciousness, another dimension. So this very same system that rely heavily on that book to operate this system that talks about and covers some of the same thing that I'm talking about, you want me to go there to prove the same thing to a system that's built off of that. And this is when I really nailed it to the wall, so to speak, on the point. Then I asked him, have you ever asked or thought, why would they go through all the trouble of giving people multiple life sentences if you only live one life? I don't even think some of the judges even think this far, because their job is just to enforce the law. Like I said, these systems were set up by non-human entities with extra-dimensional capabilities anyway, right? So when they give these guys multiple life sentences, even though some of it has been done under corruption means, or I'm sweating up a bullet. Man, I'm hot tonight. I'm telling you, this is a good one. Where was I? I lost my train of thought. So they give these guys, they go through all the trouble of getting every detail, because what they're doing is they're creating a contract. They're documenting everything, because what did I say in my video, contracts and agreements? Those contracts that we sign here, some of them are legally binding spiritually, and vice versa. So when they give these guys multiple sentences, all the money, all the time, all the energy to document and prove all that detail, and they give them multiple life sentences, y'all really think they're going through that much detail for no reason? Think about it. Like I said, the people on the lower level, they're just enforcing the law. But on a spiritual level, that contract, that is copied over. When I say copied over, think of like how we use computers. We have information and memory on the motherboard or the hard drive, right, of a computer. We can use a thumbnail to transfer information. We can use a CD to transfer information. They got technology coming out now where there'll be an even lighter way to transfer information. We transfer information through the sun. The sun gives us information. Light gives us information. So when we so-called quote unquote die, our memory and our consciousness is simply transferred to a form of technology that is beyond human comprehension. Some will say it's the soul, some will say it's the spirit, but either way, it is transferred. So when all this stuff that's down here, when we're going through the process of transitioning out, all of that information is transferred over as well. It comes with us. It becomes a part of our life, book of life, and it becomes a part of our matrix. So I'm just giving you guys some real needy food for thought. The next time somebody come at you talking that nonsense about how crazy this kind of stuff that even now scientists are proving beyond a shadow of a doubt is very real, or when they want to keep y'all focused on the surface, looking at superficial. Like for me, I'm gonna use myself because I can only speak because this is the life I live. I came in the world naturally with high feminine energy. This ain't always about sexuality, because people tell you I'm very discerning about who I share my body with now. At one time, even when I had low self-esteem, I did stuff, but there was still a part of me that knew that if I got out there and act wildly and loosely, there would be energetic consequences. But when I came in, all I ever heard was, "Oh, he gonna be funny. He's sissy. He this, he that." When I remember being a little boy, not even knowing what that was. I used to hear adults talking, saying things like that about me, but in ignorance, they did not realize that what they were looking at didn't necessarily have anything to do with who I'm going to end up being attracted to. It can, but it has everything to do with me being a divine representation of the feminine. I've had more lives as a woman. This is only my second life as a biological male. So what they saw, what some of these ignorant Christians call the gay spirit, some of that is, I'm not going to say for everybody, but a lot of them are simply bringing over the magnetic wave and energy from all the lifetimes that they've had. Now, I know a lot of them say it ain't no reincarnation, but that's only because your antiquated book told you that. But like what I just previously hinted, they got the real book and they know it's life continues. Okay. So what you saying based on your ego and what you've been taught trumps the facts. Okay. So I know that I've had more lives as a woman, as a female. That's why I came in with natural high feminine energy. And when you have feminine energy, people who carry high masculine energy will naturally be attracted to that, magnetized to that. Most of the men that try to pick me up, hit on me, my entire life, I'm more balanced in my masculine now, but I started out very feminine. The majority of them were very masculine men. They lived and identified as straight. May the Almighty strike me down right now. That's how I know so much about download men. That's why I can see a download man a billion miles away. I don't care how masculine, how thugged out, how tough, rough, how much he talk about he hate gays. I can see him. They can't hide from people like me. So when I came in with very, very high energy, it ended up being one of the reasons why I do have the ability to see beyond the veil and travel beyond the veil. Women naturally have this. Women, that's why women, they talk about a female's intuition. This women are natural nurturers. That I naturally had that. I was handling, changing diapers and handling babies at the age of 9. I just knew how to do it. I just knew how babies were delivered. You guys who've been watching me for a long time, you know the story behind that. I knew how babies were delivered. Nobody showed me that. It was because I brought that memory over. I don't have children in this life, but I've had many children in other lifetimes. I've had children beyond the veil. So when I go back home, I still got a lot of souls that I not only helped birth into different realities, but that children that I gave birth to. Now, I know this is going to sound crazy to a lot of people who are asleep and bought everything they've been taught, but I don't care how crazy it sounds. This is my truth, my reality, and how I remember it and how I have observed it. So that feminine energy that has been attacked in women and in males who are in tune, biological males who are in tune with that. And some of these males are, yes, those who say they are transgender. I'm not going to get into whether changing your gender, your sex, and all that. I'm not getting in. I'm talking about skin deep. When they tell you they feel like a woman in a man's body, this is why. It was never that for me. I never wanted to be a woman. But for those, there are others. For them, their matrix is different, and their reason being for being here is different. So for them, they may really feel like a woman or a woman in a biological man suit, and vice versa for women. Because those are they had those many lives, and their magnetics is compelling them. Because remember, we take our magnetics with us. Our magnetic makeup compels them to want to do things to make the outer match the inner. Now, here in this so-called conscious community, and when it comes to manipulating consciousness, they're using the outer to manipulate and get people to be judgmental about the inner. You get it? This is some deep shit right here. I know y'all not used to me using colorful language, but you know, people know this is how I talk. This is how I talk. But I don't feel like I have to cuss every other word to come across as real black or real hood. I don't subscribe to none of that. Okay, I forgot my moderators. My bad. Let me I got a couple of moderators in here that I totally forgot to put on. Hold on, y'all. All right, my moderators, you guys are on. I'm sorry, I kind of got off the rails. I can go even deeper on this, but I don't want this live to be too long, y'all. And y'all can ask me questions about what I just shared here. But again, I'm an OG in this game. Like I said, I did not just start this when I got on YouTube. I was a blogger years before I got on, made myself public. And everybody who knows me, I've always talked like this. I was born to do this. So these people that's just recently woke, but still caught up in their ego, people who had negative experiences with their church or whatever, now they want to completely throw away one belief system to embrace another one, to trash another. But let me tell you, all right, now I'm going to get ready to get into this whole bait and switch game that's going on here, particularly in the so-called woke conscious community. I saw this happening way back around 2000. I saw it from day one, but I really saw it around 2010. And I'm going to tell you, not only did through my mind's eye did I see it, see what was happening, but I experienced it. Why? Because they tried to, three different secret societies tried to recruit me back before there was a so-called conscious community or presence anywhere on the internet, right? When they came to me, they offered me popularity on YouTube, with my website, all across social media, a 7-figure a year salary. This is what was positioned to. Now, this is the nothing but the truth. A 7-figure a year salary, a budget for an administrative staff. As a matter of fact, I have a witness to this other than outside of my family. There's a brother, I'm not going to say his name, but if he ever watched this video, or if he's in this room and he cared to speak on it, he's a witness, because what they did was they asked me if there's anyone who, if I were to do something like that, if there anyone I have in mind that I would like to work with. It was kind of like a way of sweetening the deal for me. And I said, well, I'll think about it, but if I were to pick someone, I pick this particular brother. And they went to him and tried to recruit him. Now, he can validate what I'm saying to you. That was just one. Others came to me on the Astral realm. But with this one, on this realm, this particular one who works for these a powerful secret order, who they ended up basically making a mess of because he failed at his assignment. So they told me that a part of the deal, I can teach what I want to teach, but what I would have to do is promote their websites, their books, and what it is that they want me to speak on. And they also said that I would have to allow another entity to every now and then come in and channel through me. Now, again, if you were talking to some death, and now at that time, I was really going through it. Because when you step out here and do what I'm doing now, y'all have no idea the hits They start doing stuff to block you from making money. They start doing stuff to hit you financially, to start basically trying to break you down for the so that when they come in and make this offer, you're more likely to accept. And they have a saying, everybody has a price, but they found out through me that's not true. And a couple of others that I know, not true. You can't pay me enough to go against what I know to be a fact, especially when it talks about saving souls. No, I'm not that dude. This is why in 11 years, I only date 12,400 subscribers in 11 years. I had almost all of that way back in, before they shut down the growth of my channel. I had all of that way back in 2010. I had almost that much then. Now y'all gonna tell me what I bring and what I share isn't worthy enough to be just as visible as a lot of these people who are out here who are just regurgitating old information at this point. When I came on here, I was bringing something never before seen or heard. Okay, so I'm telling y'all some real shit right here, and I'm speaking as a messenger. It's real. I'm telling you. I'm not ego boosting or none of that. I'm just telling y'all straight from just a straight shooter. I'm speaking as a straight shooter. So this bait and switch, I turned them down. I was not nasty about it. I wasn't mean about it. They sent some being who reptilian. I remember it clear as day. Same thing. Some older Caucasian looking guy with reptilian slits. See, this kind of stuff will frighten a lot of people, but I'm used to this. It does not scare me. They sent some being try to recruit me with white hair then, and I respectfully declined. And that's when all across social media, my stuff, my visibility stopped. It was overnight. Okay? So around that time, they were recruiting these people. That's what I'm getting at. Some of them made the deal, and very few didn't. These are some of the same ones who are in the forefront of the so-called woke community, the pro-black community. They've always been in the church. I saw a lot of that. As a matter of fact, I used to talk about how rampant it was with these reverends and these deacons and all these guys using sex rituals and molesting people in the church and all that back then. Nobody wasn't trying to hear it. But look at it now. It's everywhere. It's all out. They used to call me a demon because I was reporting all of the devil working through it. This is when they don't have a leg to stand on, the first thing they start doing is trying to demonize you and say you the devil or the devil got your tongue. But look at all the evidence. I ain't never molest no child. I'm not into that. My mind don't even think like that. It is inconceivable to me how an adult could do these things and to do these things to a child. And a lot of these guys who are celebrities, politicians, people falling in love over, fans laying up with these people, and they have no idea what they're dealing with. And that's why I say they don't want to deal with somebody real like me, because I see through their bullshit. And there was only one brother. That's why to this day I still give great respect and honor to that brother. A cult. I feature his video in my life. He was once a part. He woke up. He was once a part of that pro-black community, but he had to learn through a bunch of experiences that ain't all that glitters either. And he left that. That was the only brother at the time. He had a pretty nice platform. He had a voice. He was the only brother out of all of these cats that invited me on their show. You know why? Because he was the real deal. He didn't know quite just yet why he had to leave that circle, but he found out through a series of experiences. And that's why I respond to him the way I do. That's why I support him the way I do. And he gets it too. What's going on this planet is skin deep, y'all. It's deep. What's up, Gaia Earth? You just coming in. You missed a lot, but check that archive. And just in case they try to block out any of this, I'm also recording this. I'm recording this feed in case there's an issue with, because I've done live before and stuff would be edited out or the camera will conveniently freeze when I'm dropping some real serious gems. what's this brother's name? Cole. I have his video. He's rapping. He used a lot of powerful, deep metaphors. Now, people listening to his rap, they'll think he's promoting demonic material. But see, this brother's mind is so brilliant that people who listen to him may hear demonic, but I hear a powerful, balanced soul. He's one of the few who's real. I knew he was real then, but he's coming more into his realness now. Okay? So that's why you will see him as well. He dropped a lot of knowledge and gems. He has experience and he has extensive book knowledge. Like this guy didn't just start this stuff. And his audience is extremely low. Same thing with Gaia. Gaia is a contactee. There are those of us who are contactees, especially melanated people. They hide us away, but got people who just read and heard somebody talking about it out here talking about stuff like this, and they got all the audience. Now, how silly does that sound? It's crazy. You know why they got them out there? Because they can control them. They don't have a leg to stand on. It's easy to just go learn and read stuff and regurgitate it and repackage it and say it as if you know what you're talking about. But the time we in now, all that stuff you talking is going to be tested. So that brings me back to my point. Those who took the deal, they're gonna flip because shit is starting to get real. They were frauds to begin with. They were insecure in what they were saying to begin with. They took the bait, and I'm gonna tell you the other side of it too. When they flip and go back to their old school of thought, or go to a big organization, a cult religion that is basically set up to trick souls into reincarnating, they're going to bring a lot of their followers with them because they did just that, just followed. They didn't really do no work. That's how you can tell the real ones too. They don't never offer any solutions. Y'all know I get solutions. This is another reason why my stuff is not appealing to a lot of people. I mix in entertainment now and then because I'm an artist. My energy and my expression and knowledge is infused with everything that I do. But the reason why people love people who are what they call the so-called real niggas, so to speak, because they look at that, they see that as somebody relatable. That's in their neighborhood. Well, if that's okay, but if you stop there, you ain't woke. All of us should be willing and open to learn from everybody. And you will find some of the most woke, balanced, conscious people are people who had friends and associates of all walks of life. My life has afforded me to have that. But even before I got to where I am, I was always open to knowing and understanding, understanding everybody if they're willing to share with me. I don't get caught up in that superficial BS. So a lot of these pro-blacks, they're just the other side of the coin with the KK. Their consciousness, they're on the same wavelength. It's just one dipped in chocolate. And I'm just going to keep it 100. And I really hope y'all share this video because a lot of them need to hear, because I'm going to tell you, there's a price to pay, and you're going to pay it in a way that I know a lot of y'all ain't going to be ready for it. Because when these giants really wake up, all these giants, and they find out how y'all deceived, and I'm talking about those who are behind the scenes, who they're working for, all of them got it coming. There will be nowhere to hide. That's why it pays to mind your business. Don't harm nobody's child. Stay out of stop trying to force stuff on people. You won't have to worry about it. Be respectful. There's a brother who's been with me for a long time. This brother literally just came out of nowhere and started leaving hateful, nasty comments on my channel. It's because of the video that I did about Jesus. He's saying I told him that I was going to expose these people about the live Jesus. Then he started attacking, saying I'm a part of an inferior race, and all that ugliness that was there just really exploded to the surface. Now, to this brother's credit, I did deal a lot with him because I know his backstory, and I try to work with him, and he will see this video because he watched my stuff religiously. But the problem is that you didn't work hard enough. So now we're in a time where the very things that you did not really work to remove is now taking over your psyche. Now he had the nerve to say that the archons, I'm a tool for Satan and the archons, but yeah, he's the one using words like you're a part of an inferior species, you do bullshit, cussing me out, just all kind of blatant, nasty things. And he's finding out there's a price to pay for that. You on here bearing false witness? Y'all can look at that video that I did about Jesus versus what he's saying I said, and you know that's not what I said. He took it all out of context. Now, this is the same brother that caused me to lose a lot of my members on my website when I first put my independent website, when I first started it way back in 2010, because I did not want to censor anybody. And he was in there posting racist, nasty things. But because I knew his backstory and I was sympathetic to him, I basically told the members, look, if you don't like, just ignore it. I don't want to censor because I don't like that being done to me. But I had to learn through that experience that sometimes you do have to put down and set boundaries. So since then, because of him, I have set boundaries. Now this person act all kind of hateful, mean, cruel, disrespectful, but he's calling me the demonic one. Now, I've never in my life just went up and just went off, cussed somebody, called them outside their name, talking about their people in a very nasty, cruel way. But I know where that anger is really coming from. That anger is coming from the fact that those entities who had it their way for so long are losing power and losing control. And they're angry about it, and they're going to try to attack those who they see as the beacons of that loss. You see? Wait a minute, hold on. Been following Gaia and AstralBooBaby for years. When I first started delving into this in 2011, love to see they know each other. Yes, Gaia and I, we've been maintaining connection, communication for about 4 years. We've been trying to get a video, him and Miss Quiet Queen, we were going to do a video, but it's just our scheduling is and trying to get the right, because I already know they're going to try to block and shut it down. I'm trying to figure out a way to maybe do it where we record it that way. It's not what we say is blocked out. But Guy is one of the real ones. That's why y'all see, and some of these guys, don't get me wrong, some of these guys who are in the woke conscious community, they watch me. They were young boys. They're now out there, the real ones. I'm not talking about, they're not caught up in all this nonsense y'all see that's getting all these subscribers warring against each other, basically playing their position in this game of spiritual warfare. They're not in all of that. One of them I can say is Master of Earth. You guys know him. I know him. I haven't spoken to him in a while, but I was mentoring him for a period as well. See, I could have easily threw his name and used his name because his platform was rapidly growing. I never used his name. He was going to give me a shout out in one of his videos, but he's not making videos right now. But I was mentoring him. He's another one that I have a connection with behind the scenes. Y'all never knew that. This is the first time I'm publicly mentioning that. There have been others. So there are brothers who don't have as big of a platform, but they have reached others and sisters. Okay? Do I watch Conscious TV? Would be cool if you guys collaborated. Conscious TV sounds familiar. Quiet Queen is cool. She and I, we talk. We talk. Not as much as I would like, but we maintain communication as well. And she too is being dealt ghost blocked and suppressed. It seems like anybody that I mention, they go after them. That's why I tell people, you start a platform, don't even mention you know me, because I guess they see it as that's a way of promoting him or something. They become highly visible and more people find me. But like I say, that saying goes, they buried me or try to bury me, but they didn't know I was a seed. They don't realize my work don't stop on YouTube. My work goes beyond this world. All right. So what we see with the so-called bait and switch going on with the conscious community was a setup to gain the trust of those who are just waking up, to essentially create confusion, division, doubt, and or to bring them back into a different lower state of consciousness with the illusion of wokeness. That's what's happening. That is what's going on now. Because like I said, at this point in the game, if you flip flop in your belief system because stuff is really getting hot, you weren't genuine to begin with. You see me sitting here, I'm healthy, sweating like a bullet though. I'm healthy in my right mind. I'm still here, and there ain't nothing I said out there that I took back, and I'm not going to take it back unless I experience something different, told or shown something different. And my mother who has transitioned out of here, she's made it clear on multiple occasions. She's very, very, very pleased, even though she didn't understand when she was down here in her ego. She's very pleased with the work that I've done and still doing. My ancestors, my star family, elementals. Now, speaking of which, that brings me to my next point of conversation. Again, if you have someone out there who claim to be woke and they keep you focused on the surface and they not giving solutions and they clout chasing, they have no humility, they keep beefing going, and what's the other? And they have to constantly bash and tear down another belief system or another person to make what they're saying seem fair seemingly. I would strongly advise you to look at them with magnified lens, because 9 times out of 10 they are an agent for the matrix, whether they are consciously aware of it or not. Now that's enough of that. Oh, the sun. See the sun coming right in on me. I know that's right. They're telling me you damn right. You on it. See, y'all may say, oh, that's a coincidence. This sun has not shined in this room in this direction in months. Okay? So I'm saying something right. This is real. Again, this is real shit. Real recognizes real. And so you see, the sun approves. And I'm already hot, but I'm going to take it all in because I know they're giving me more to say. Y'all see the hard work? Oh, speaking of which, somebody asked how can they would like to send me a donation to show their appreciation. And believe me, special shout out to Connie and B-Toy Regalado. They are husband and wife. They are the vessels who brought us the Mawab oil that has been greatly suppressed and blocked as well, y'all. The Regalados, shout out to them. Much love to them. They've been consistently supportive. Shout out to Larry. Larry, he has a podcast. I mentioned him. He what's Larry's podcast? I'm sorry, I can't think of it right now, but I'll put it in the description link once I officially post this video. You guys, please check these people out. There have been a very few who have been consistently supportive. Carissa, you guys, I'm sorry. Forgive me if I cannot, because there's so many of you guys that I know and have talked to over the years. I guess they want me to get on to these other things. I'm going to share an astral visitation experience. I hadn't done one of these in a long time. Okay. This happened last week. This very same bed here. Now, when I travel beyond the veil, I bypass the vibration point. It's literally like I lay down and I wake up and I'm somewhere else. That's really what happens when we so-called croak or die. It's as if we go to sleep and we're asleep and we just wake up, and when we wake up, we're somewhere else. That's really what death is, so to speak. But I digress. When I had lain down, and that particular day, I had a lot of energy, and I had a very, very difficult time getting off to rest. But when I did, no more than being in that state for half an hour or so, it was just I woke up lying exactly in the same space. I didn't move anywhere. I woke up in the same space, and I felt my mother's energy right here. I didn't see her. I felt her, and I heard her speaking telepathically to me. And I remained there, and I was seeing through my mind's eye, and I was looking at the 4 wall here. Now on that plane, the window is here, but on that plane, the window was here. Because remember what I said a long time ago, when you shift your perspective astrally in the same space, there will be a variation of difference. It's almost like looking at this piece of paper. You're here, but when you go to sleep, you're looking from a different angle. So these letters on the front, the writing on the front of this will look different. It would not, it would appear and be lined up differently from this angle. So when you wake up in the astral realm in that way, within the same space that you're in, there will be some shifting that happens. So the window was here. I was telepathically communicating with my mother, right? And I'm not going to tell you because that's for me. When all of a sudden these creatures showed up in the window, they were looking in on me. Now I'm going to try to describe these creatures. Oh, hold on, y'all. Excellent. Stay on page. Okay, I almost broke the connection. These creatures were looking in the window. Now I'm going to describe them as best as I can. If I get enough likes, I'll draw it, or maybe do a Photoshop type of thing and put it on my website for people who really like these. What in the world, man? Let me put this thing. Hold on, y'all. I accidentally knocked something off. All right, can y'all still see me? Hello? Okay, you're there. Okay. All right, I'm talking about an astral visitation. So I wake up, I'm lying on my back, my mother's energy is here, and I'm communicating with her telepathically. I can telepathically communicate if another person know how to do it. So these beings looking in the window, there were first about two of them, and they speak very like munchkins, like they had very, very high pitch these chants or something. And I'm looking at them, and they were like something that I don't consciously ever remember seeing. Now let me describe them. They had like heads. Their heads was big for their bodies, but their heads was about the shape and size of a toddler. But they look like a cross between a kitten and a cat and a rabbit. They were white, but they glowed white. That they had big egg shape. Their eyes were the shape of like eggs, and their eyes looked like black, beautiful, luminous black diamonds. I mean, they were like super cute, super beautiful, super majestic, and alluring. All that multiplied times 1,000. I can't even just like give it explanation or description that would do it justice. And they were like, and I just, they were like, they were talking like that. That's what I heard. And then I start focusing in on one. It sounded like a bunch of chatter. And then one of them was saying, "How do you do? How do you do? How do you do?" He was saying it over and over. My mother when everybody knows my mother would say, "How do you do?" That's how my mother would greet everybody. One of them was saying, "How do you do? How do you do? How do you do? How do you do?" And he kept saying it over and over. Now, as this one was saying, "How do you do?" over and over, my mother's energy is all happening in this space, but on another layer, so to speak. More of these beings start cramming in the window, and it was like they were all just real happy to see me. Like they were just eager, and they was just chattering amongst each other. And so then they started like dematerializing and coming through the window. And I remember telepathically saying, "No, you guys, you can't come in. Stay back, stay back." And they was just trying to get to me. They were really, really, really happy to see me. So then I would say about 8 of them was up in the window peering in, wanting to come through and come to me. When a older one looked just like them, they all look alike, but they had different personalities. But the slightly older one, I can tell he had something at the top of his head. His voice wasn't as high as theirs. And I heard him distinctly say, when they wanted to get to me, when I was telling them, no, don't stay back, stay in the window, and I was kindly saying it. And then I heard the older one say, I don't even think even he knows how great and who he is. That's exactly, I remember, that's exactly, he said, not even he knows. He was very specific with, even with everything I've been through and I've seen here and beyond the veil, he's still saying what I got or what I come to the conclusion. It's still, but he could have also been saying it within the context that I didn't recognize who they were right away. They were just extremely beautiful creatures, like from my conscious mind perspective, I've never seen before. And they were trying to budge through the window to come to me, happy to see me. And when he said that, I said to my mother, I said, I just heard that guy say, not even I know who I really am. And I heard my mother giggle, and then that's when it broke. My mother left. I heard my mother giggle clear as day when I repeated what I heard that being telepathically say to me. So again, one thing about me is that I have always said that I don't know it all. No one on this planet, no one person, no institution, no not know it all. You gotta imagine what knowing it all really encompasses. And I'm under this veil of amnesia just like everyone else. Of course, yes, I'm able to tap into and see and remember more than average, but I've always said a lot of stuff they veil off from me. I have enough memory to know that from this experience there are going to be a lot of changes I'm going to make when I go back home. Like I remember Caucasian looking men bowing down calling me Lord. I didn't, now my ego, my alter self, that was in my alter state self. This version of me, I don't like that. I'm going to change that. This experience has humbled me greatly. Now I know this is going to sound crazy and ridiculous to people who are really on the surface and have no clue of how very layered and complex the nature of reality really is, but I don't care. Y'all know, people should know by now, I'm going to be me, I'm going to do me, and I don't care what anybody got to say about it. And I'm not compromising who I am for no money, no acceptance, none of that. Views, likes, none of it. Now, speaking of which, it's saying 68 people in the room now, which I don't believe. And if it is, it's because they're... Now, how in the world, again, I have supposedly over 12,000 subscribers, and I have thousands of families and friends who know me and who share my stuff. And there's only on average less than 100 people on these lives, and I'm on here well past an hour. See, you see. So that's that. Let me see. What's my next talking point before I answer y'all questions? Y'all, I just had that piece of paper. You know the piece of paper I just held up in front of y'all? Are you kidding me? I kid you not. The paper is gone. They do that. The mischief. They play around. The sweat. Y'all see that skin? Whew. Okay. What was I had? See, that's how the opposition plays. So I'm going off the dome. Y'all know I can go off the dome. I just wrote down my talking points so that in case I get too far off, I know where to pick up from. So getting back to the point of those who want to donate. That's what I was saying. If you would like to donate, I appreciate it. I do welcome donations, but I don't make it a requirement. But if you want to show your token of appreciation to anyone, not just me, anyone who you've gained something from, who inspires you. You have no idea when I do get donations, it is so heartwarming and so touching, and it inspires me because, like I say, y'all have no idea how much we deal with these people trying to block us from making our own way. But you see, again, because we know where our true gifts come from. Okay, so if you would like to donate, by all you can go to my website and click on how to donate, or you can just ask the cash app is AstralBooBaby. My name AstralBooBaby, AstralBooBaby with the cash app sign AstralBooBaby. If you want to send something through me through cash app, I would greatly appreciate it, y'all. So now let's talk about souls. That's another thing, because there's a lot of rhetoric going on around, about who has a soul and who doesn't. I'm gonna tell you guys what you should be looking at, and why there may be some truth in some of this, and why some of it is straight up BS. Okay. First of all, there are way more than 144,000 souls on this planet, and let me tell you why. Number one, at the time these books were put together, you can say within that timeline, 144,000 was specified for that particular timeline, or at the end of a cycle, meaning the number. I say it is really dealing with the number of souls within a tribe. There are multiple tribes down here. So if you have 100 million in a tribe, okay, you have 100 million per tribe, and there are 12 tribes here. You do the math. Oh, somebody, thank you. Somebody sent me. This is my first time here. I already know what that is. Let me see. See, this is how I keep getting all past. Somebody donated $35. I'm not going to say it because some people don't want to be shouted out in that way. People like to be anonymous. I will write you guys privately. If you donate, that's one thing about me. There was one time somebody tried to, paint me out to be this money grabbing crook, saying that they donated to me and I didn't even bother to at least give thanks. Well, if I knew you donated to me, if I got the donation, I would have done that. That's who I've always been, a grateful, humble person. So when you donate to me, I always give thanks, but I write people privately and I thank them. Thank you, whoever. Thank you guys so much. Thank you. So getting back to souls. So I always, what was given to me with the revelation with me is that 144,000 does not pertain to just one group of people. That is pertaining to a tribe. Okay. So one of the reasons and also keep in mind that although the Bible does have a lot of wisdom and truth, a lot of manipulation has been done to it to throw people off who are not really reading it with deeper level discernment. There are levels to even that. There's levels to everything. There's levels in the religious, spiritual, new way, all of their levels to it. None of it is all bad and none of it is all good. You have to take what you need and that works for you, with you building your unique canvas and your unique universe in your life, what works for you, what sustains you, what builds the faith and foundation for you. Like I say, what's happening right now, those who are strong in their faith, no matter what their belief is, they are good. They are activated. They are connected with their soul. What is happening, and I think a lot of people what they are trying to say is that there are a lot of people on this planet who are disconnected or who don't have access to a soul. But here's something that a lot of these people with this narrative don't tell you. There are also beings who are being grafted into a soul. These are beings who have shown to have redeeming qualities. The movie Pinocchio demonstrated this perfectly. Pinocchio was created out of a old man who was very lonely. Okay, he wanted to create a companion, so he carved a wooden boy out of wood, made him out of wood. His love, the love and the intent that he wanted for that child sparked something in the boy where he wanted to be a human. He wanted to be real. He wanted to be whole. So when you guys know the story by now, he ended up becoming a boy. How and why is this? Because Pinocchio, who was created out of intense love with a certain kind of intent, had this very angelic quality about him. Even though he was created through an inanimate object and a spirit, everything is spirit. Spirit is in everything by nature, but but he didn't have a soul, so to speak. So he went through a series of tests and life experiences, and the father love for him sparked him to become human, which is symbolic of getting a soul. This is what has happened on this planet as well. Yes, at one time, those beings, those real white people, like I said, the average Caucasian are just genetically modified black people. And I'm going to keep saying it. I'm 100% sure on this. Because if they were a different species, how do y'all suppose we can reproduce with one another if we are different species? Can a cow reproduce with an elephant? You hear a lot of this problem, and people just soak it in without question. So it is because, and I ain't gonna get into how it was done and or what have you, but what they did was they voided out, they eliminated the melanin. Now, those of us with melanin, we have the potential to access different layers of different higher dimensions, a broader light spectrum. We have the access, but how many of us run around here with the capability but act completely soulless? I know some Caucasians who have been vibing, rocking with me from day one, and they support me 100%. You're going to try to convince me that these people don't have a soul or have access to it? The fact that they connect with what I'm saying and they get it and they shared stories with me, I know they are connected. Just as there are some people who look like me who are connected, but you will find there are those who are in all groups who are disconnected, or you have those who are spirits who have not been grafted into a soul. So yes, there are some Caucasians who are disconnected and don't have a soul, but there are also some melanated people who are disconnected and showing they don't have a soul, which is why a lot of them are in some deep trouble. Okay? Just saying it for what it is. So you guys gotta stop. And same thing for gender. Now let me tell y'all, this is another one. And I know a lot of y'all are going to be triggered. The people talk about the divine feminine. The divine feminine didn't stop expressing itself through a biological female. Again, y'all caught up. Yes, the majority has been expressed through a biological female, but because of all these abortions, all these countries that are favoring killing the females and favoring males to build more wars for mass destruction or protection, whichever way you want to look at it, and all these imbalances, now you have divine feminine energy who will have no other choice but to incarnate in a male vessel because there are not enough female vessels for them to come into. This is some deep shit. You won't hear people brave enough, and some of them know this, but they not going to talk about it because they too scared that somebody going to call them gay or accuse them of being gay. Y'all know I don't give a shit. I'm about speaking facts. I'm about speaking truth. So when you look at a lot of so-called quote-unquote gay men, trans people, some of them are divine feminine in a biological female body or in a biological male body, and some of them are more powerful than any of us on this planet combined. And that's why I say watch who you disrespect and talk crap to, because as this veil thins, you're going to find that a lot of them may not be as forgiving as, say, someone like me. And they have every right to correct someone who's been blatantly disrespectful for the kind of sacrifice that they give and the things they have done and do to help bring balance back in this planet so that we finally get rid of the cancer that's been going on down here for thousands of years. Now, the organized religions want you gotta wonder, any group that uses a belief system to demonize an entire group, you gotta ask yourself why. It's never because of what they're telling you. It's because there's something about, they know something about this group. You see them doing it with women. You see them doing it with the and I don't even, because again, this is that political football mess. The GLBT, that's a political football. That's why y'all don't hear me talking about stuff. Black, white, I don't, all that political nonsense feeding into that. That's the matrix game. That's the checkerboard, chessboard mess. I try to keep it strictly about consciousness and energy and awareness and the mind, because that's really what it's about. They got y'all using the surface again, manipulating the surface and using the surface and the ego to get you to go against the greater inner workings. That's what really matters, the inner. Okay, so getting back to my point, there are over a billion, well over a billion souls on this planet. Now, are all those souls woke? No. Are all those souls connected to their true core, God self, God itself? No. It's not there yet. You know why? Because too many of them are still asleep. Now, what's happening with all this stuff getting real, this stuff we've been warning and talking about for years, it's either going to make them flee from being fake and the clout, because y'all see the material stuff is losing its value. The celebrityism, you know, people being taught to worship and trust what they say no matter what. Y'all see that is fading. All these things, all these material things that people have clung to for identity and value is falling. So now what is left? Whatever foundation you're on, and if you're standing on a weak foundation, you're going to flee from where you are, or you're going to run and try to cling to something, anything, to give you a false sense of security, when that security should have always come from within, and the connection that you have with yourself and whatever the higher power that sustains you. Other than that, no, no, no. So anybody can be soulless at this point in the game with all the race mixing, genetic engineering, and all this stuff that has happened. I understand the anger with a lot of us in the black community, because the perception is that a lot of white people do see, they see the injustice and the unfairness, but because of the privileges and the access that they have, a lot of black people see all white people as in on their oppression. But see, again, when you look really, really deep, like I'm going to tell you, a lot of black people who are catching hell, and you notice some of us have it way harder than the others. And this is also true for people who are gay, lesbian, male, female, those who have it the hardest at this point in the game. And I'm being very, very specific when I say this point in the game, it is because you are now reaping what you sow. You have lived before now. You didn't just come and you just forgot the veil of amnesia. You didn't just come into being now. So that's why you run around promoting hatred and violence and judgment and condemnation on someone who don't mesh with your ego. And you think you getting away with that? No, your soul, for you to connect with that soul, for you to get out of here, and you get, because really when it's all said and done, what we're ultimately doing is a lot of our soul has been fragmented, has been fractured. It's been done through traumas. It's been done through wars, cosmic wars, earthly wars, and all that. So a lot of our consciousness got shattered. So parts of ourselves is scattered all over the place. So in order to come back into a full, complete being, a full soul, you have to experience and recapture what you lost by way of experience. This is the divine side of what is going on here. But they'll convince you that's what's going on. These people are here to rape your children. Now, the ones that's really raping kids and doing all this stuff, some of them are the main ones out here trying to tell you the gay people want to rape you, turn your kids gay. The white people want to kill and destroy your community. But look at who's really doing that. Look at their fruits, people. Now, some of these people hide so well that you will have to have your mind's eye activated to see who and what they really are. But once you start putting in that work and developing thicker skin, working on yourself, you too will see them. Okay. Okay. All right. I'm sorry. I got distracted. So I'm going to start with that particular point of conversation with your question. You guys have any more questions about? So again, I am in messenger mode. Um, and I will answer it to the best of my knowledge and ability. And another thing about me, you guys know that if you ask me something that I have not experienced or gotten a revelation on, it's not being given to me or I can't tap into, I will quickly tell you that's not my lane, because all of us got a specific lane, a specialty, so to speak. So I would, but if I have a friend or someone who specializes in that particular area, I will send you to them, or I'll ask you to. I will tell you what to do to find who can help you in this regard. All right. So question time, and then I'm going to bring this to an end because I have not eaten anything. I'm over here sweating up. I kind of cooled off a little bit. Uh, Thank you guys again. I heard my Cash App going off. Thank you for the donations. What? Okay. Ask. What do you think about the coronavirus, the electrons, and all these prophets saying that all death, hell, and destruction is going to be unleashed this winter? We all have a piece of the puzzle. And I'm going to tell you how that is going to be true for some, but totally untrue for others. It's all a matter of what wavelength we align ourselves to. Do you guys know that sometimes when people so-called die, when they go to sleep and don't wake up, or even when they appear to die in this realm, what is also happening sometimes, they'll wake up. Now, in this reality, let's say, for instance, if somebody got shot in this reality right now, they may appear to have died in this one, but on another reality, they had survived the gunshot wound, but they're on a different parallel version of Earth, and they will experience that kind of hell on Earth that these people are talking about. Or they may go to sleep and may appear to may go to sleep but wake up in a reality where that is playing out, or it can play out in this reality and we all be shared in the same reality, but you're unaffected by it. So when people do things like that and try to make it to be the reality for everybody, keep this in mind. We are multi-dimensional. There are multi versions of ourselves rippled all across the universe. And it's all a matter of what frequency. Because remember, everything is mind. Now everybody and their mother saying it now. I say that. Go look at it. It's archived. Anybody ever try to say I copied somebody? Now everybody, people getting millions of views saying we are mind, and that's no diss. I'm just glad the information is getting out. But now people are realizing we are mind. The brain is just an interface for the mind. When we are operating here, we're just on the frequency to anchor us here. But once we shift our consciousness, we can access any dimension, any realm if we so choose, if we know how to do it. Same way it's like dialing, changing the channel on a TV. Your mind is your apparatus that gives you the perception of everything you see. Not the brain aids in this reality, but beyond this, your mind perceives and projects. You are, and that reminds me of another talking. Remind me of fans only. I have to say something. I was told I must speak about this fans only trend that's going on and put a warning out there. I told y'all I'm on fire. 80 people in the room and only 68 likes. Let's get it up, y'all. Come on now. I gotta talk. Gotta make a warning about the fans only. What was I saying? See, so much coming in and one that's fighting, competing with each other to get out. Yes. So the mind, if you believe, if you're on that frequency and that's what you want to see and that's what you expect, you will experience that. If that is your belief, that you will wake up on a frequency and vibration that will support that perception. Now, it could just happen in your state. It could just happen in your small area, but we all still be in the same space. But no, I do not see them winning, because that's like the dark side totally winning. Now there are to basically taking it all. They already had that. Their time is done. They'll have pockets and they'll have parallel realities where that is. But for this reality, this what's going on right here, no, it's not going to happen on a mass scale like that. This is why so much of what they wanted to happen has not happened yet, because there are enough here who are awake, who are not participating and consenting to this nonsense. And I'm talking about people who are in the military, people who are doctors, every facet of society who are woke, who see this mess, and they are putting a wrench in a lot of this crap. But there's also a reality where the majority are still asleep and clueless, and it's going to just be unchecked and running amok. So did I answer that to your satisfaction? So yes for some, no for others. For everybody on this reality, no. For some in this reality, yes, it has already happened. That's why I say that it is real, but they over exaggerating it. And they're giving people the diagnosis to get money, even though they may not have passed from that to justify the numbers, so they can keep pushing this narrative that it's just growing out of control. Now, I said that in my live feed like 5 months ago, and now look at how much of that is being proven to be true. That's why I say I don't have to tear down another person's what they saying. Y'all go back and look at what I've been saying over the years, what I blogged about. Look at how much of it has already proven to be true. All right. Oh, for let everyone know. Thank you, fam. Let everyone know where you can go and send donations again. AstralBooBaby with the Cash App $sign. Actually, wait, you can't miss it. Make sure you spell my name correctly, because y'all know y'all type my name. If you don't type my name correctly on YouTube and Google, you won't find none of my videos. It's AstralBooBaby. Thanks for the reminder, fam. Now for fans only. Now I need you guys to put your critical thinking caps on here. Now there are a lot of us, and I'm specifically talking about those of us who are heavily melanated, who are in, and don't get me wrong, I totally get why some people see this as an opportunity to really live comfortably, especially during these uncertain times. But I must make you guys aware, and you got to always ask, why would the very same system that has been preventing you from making the kind of money that you can make from a fraction, because some of these people are making 6 figures a month with this fan zone. I mean, 6 figures a month. Melanated people who have been marginalized through the system, these same forces behind the scene. And I'm not talking about white people. I'm talking about people who are not even human, who are behind this stuff, who have set it up to keep a lot of us from getting a decent paying job. Well, all of a sudden, would they set up a platform where you can make all of this money, giving the illusion of anonymity not anonymity, privacy with just your fans, when that's an illusion, number one. Because remember, even though the general public may not access what you put out there, but once you unlock that window of somebody looking at you with the software that's out here, anybody can record that and still put it out there. That's warning number one. Warning number two, a lot of people are basically using this as an opportunity to have sex with their boyfriends, their lovers, girlfriends, and for their fans to watch. And people are lining up in droves because they're in their lower self. Because I told y'all a long time ago, a lot of people are not watching these people because they really want to be woke and understand, or truly remember and know who they are. They're looking at them because they're hot. They make them hot. They turn them on. These are people they see as sexy. People giving off a lustful energy. People are giving off low vibratory waves. And people watch that and they cling to it. So these people are out here doing this for fans only, having sex on camera with their lovers, with people watching them, and non-human entities, and masturbating on camera. Now, if you're doing it to give um, um, information or to teach something you don't want, I can get that. If it's a skill you're teaching, I'm really more or less talking about those who are using it to open up portals and gateways by way of masturbating and having sex. Because what did I told you guys a long time ago, we are mostly waters. We're made up of mostly water. We conduct. We are electrical beings. That's why we're mostly water. Our consciousness, all of that works as an electrical system, biologically speaking, right? We are programmable, but we also are creators. That means we have in and out capabilities. Just as something we can absorb and take in energy, we can give it out. Just the same way when you're seeing me right now through this apparatus and you're hearing my voice, the same transfer can happen energetically when someone is you're looking at someone having sex, and when someone watch you having sex and masturbating and you have an orgasm, that energy that you give off and that frequency and that signal, just like the signal you're seeing, it's going somewhere. So you can have people who are looking at these videos who know how to harvest that energy, and entities that we can't see with the naked eye who are harvesting this energy. And then some of y'all gonna be wondering before long, why are you sick? Why you got these headaches? Why are you so drained? Why are you so tired? Where did this disease come from out of nowhere? And you on camera just opening your portal, you're opening your creating portals and doorways all around you, and inviting all kind of people and beings who are on a low vibratory level, feeding and sucking life right up out of you for what? Numbers on a computer screen? Because it ain't backed by nothing. Think about that. You basically we basically have this trend of people basically being lured and seduced into becoming porn stars. And I'm gonna tell you, for some of y'all, it's going to come back and bite you in more ways than one. Now, you hear this and you continue doing it, it's on you. You can't say when time comes when you have to account for, you can't say you didn't know, because you were told. The least you can do is just hear it, take it in, sit on it, and then make a decision from that point on. And those of you guys who support and look at that, same thing for you. Because the entity that's manipulating the bigger fish in the pond or the lake, so to speak, it's like a food chain. They put the food out, we're in there engaging, giving it, feeding it. When they give it off, something takes it from the interdimensional entity who's on a higher level than us. Then the big guy at the very top takes it all. We're at the bottom of the food chain in more ways than one. But you can shift your position in the food chain once you become aware of the power of your mind and your multi-dimensional makeup, and know how it works and how it is being manipulated to benefit everybody but you. Would you ever do? No, I never even thought about it. Will I ever do OnlyFans? No. Y'all see, I don't have a Patreon. I'm not against it, but no. I would rather stay on this platform, y'all. I had my personal reason, even though they have not been good to me. They have not been fair to me at all. They've stolen, cheated, but I'd rather stay on this platform. And the reason I'm going to keep to myself, but as long as you guys support me, I will keep posting. I'll put it like that. I have not recorded no new video, but I've been working my butt off in other ways. But I will continue doing one-on-ones. I will be back because I told you, Tanisha, she and I got a video. She and I, we will be doing before this month is out. That is a promise. I will make sure that video is up before this month is out, because a lot of people talk about curses, but I'm gonna tell you the real deal as to what is really keeping these so-called curses on us is complacency, accepting cultural tradition and the norm, going along with it and not being bold and brave enough to stand up and say, this is insanity. I'm not participating in this no more. I'm going to break the cycle. When we start breaking the cycle, we tear down a lot of this this mess that's been going on a long time. A lot of it thrives off of silence and complacency, but not over here. Nope. So, all right, I'm going to answer 3 more questions and I'm out. Oh, thank you, Tiki Cub. What's up, fam? Yes, you're another one been supporting me for the longest. Um, CJ, yeah, I feel something is coming with OnlyFans saying it's too popular. Yeah, and especially when they get celebrities shouting it out, because the celebrities have for the most part, have always been used as pawns to influence. Because again, they have to have people to influence. They don't want someone who's really conscious and woke and together and uncompromising, influencing people. This is why they hide and suppress and ghost block us, even though we're not. I have never bashed nobody. I never put nobody down. I have not violated any terms of use. No copyrights, no nothing. But they treat me like I'm the worst offender on this platform. But I guess from their perspective, I am, because I speak from the soul. I speak from source. I speak from experience. I speak from truth. I cannot be bought. You ain't gonna seduce me with no sex. And what I'm attracted to sexually ain't got a damn thing to do with my message. And that's another angle. Oh, don't listen to him. He's suspect. He gay. He admitted he been with men and all this dumb crap. So what? Does that negate the fact that you see receipts of stuff that fake prophets that got millions of followers have been wrong about consistently? But you can find many of things that I've been right about. You find far more that I've been right about before anybody saw any evidence of than the average so-called popular prophet who's living, got a wife, kid, and children, but on a down low and having more sex with other men and transgenders than they are a lot of straight women running around here, okay? And a lot of straight men out here. So y'all can get caught up in that BS all you want, but I'm gonna talk to you real. Anybody can be a vessel or tool for truth. But they want you to think, oh, if they are female, a lot of these fragile ego males don't want a woman to lead them. A woman, her place is to be behind a man. All that bullshit. No, you're supposed to be working side by side. No woman's supposed to be beneath, bound down to no man. No. That's that draconian religious BS. Now, I call out behaviors. I call out programs. I'm not trying to throw an entire person or an entire group under the bus. I call out behavior. Again, the mind, the consciousness. And this kind of consciousness I'm talking about can apply to anybody. Can I talk about karmic debt and paying it off? Yeah, a lot of people, and some people say they don't like to call it karma. I call it cause and effect. What you put out, be it good, or negative or positive, it comes back. If you don't get it in this round, you're going to get it in the next. So, for instance, if you had a hand in the oppression and mistreatment of others and you benefited off of that and you did nothing to stop it, that's a karmic debt. So, because you helped to create that seed, consent, not complacency in a world of severe injustice, you may as well be taken apart, especially if you're a part of the privileged class. You ain't gonna see nobody doing some outright unfair stuff to somebody else in my presence. This is why when I was working in the so-called working in the system, whenever I got close to top management, they aggressively worked to shut me out because I didn't play those politics. I didn't play those office politics. You're not going to be having me in there focusing on the people who working their butt off, but because they ain't kissing ass, you want me to focus on them and keep them down. But the ones kissing your ass and they don't know nothing, barely nothing, they ain't doing shit, you pushing them up the ladder. No, I wasn't doing it. I'm not going to support no unfairness, no inequality, no injustice, not on my watch with nobody. So that's why even when I was a supervisor, it was very short. They went in there. I'm going to tell you, when my last job, I got to be a supervisor, right? One day, this guy came in. He was He was a top level. He was on. Let's just say he was a top level guy. Soulless. He was soulless. He came in the office. Now this was a very very busy, very stressful environment. He came in the office and he said, I was working as a contractor then. He came in and he said, "Oh, it's so many smiling faces in here. Too many smiles in here. Oh, we gonna have to do something about this." Now he was saying it with a smile, but see, people can smile, but when you look in the eyes and see the coldness and the vacancy that's there, you know they really mean what they saying. They try to pass it off like they joking. I knew he was speaking truth. You know, 3 months later, they brought in some guy to take over my position now. And not only that, they wanted me to train him. Let's just put it like this. Some of my former coworkers may be watching this who saw that. Let's just say by the time I left that, I turned that place upside down. Let's just put it like that, because that's what I'm saying. I don't play those kind of games with nobody. I don't bother nobody. I mind my business, but you're not going to get me to participate in oppression, injustice, and inequality, because I know that when I participate in that, that's going to come back on me and mine. And I'm trying to break that cycle. That's ultimately where I'm going when the karmic debt comes in. I'm just giving that as an example, because you see a lot of people who are very upset because their child is being treated a certain kind of way, or they've been treated a certain kind of way. But if you were to look at their record, their Akashic record, you would see that they've done this themselves and have done this to somebody else's child. So you reap what you sow. You was all right doing it when you was on the end of getting all the bread and accolade. So let's see how you like it when you on the opposite end. That's basically what it is. So what happens in that case, on a soul level, you are now developing compassion and empathy, so that the next time around, you will more than likely stand up in a situation like that. You will not cooperate with it. I can give y'all endless examples of this, but I hope that comparison and analogy give you guys a better perspective of cause and effect, and what they call karma. What you put out, you get back, and it also works that way for positive things as well. I'm sorry, y'all. This is moving, and I do apologize if I missed your question, but I believe somebody asked me. I think I already addressed it. They was asking about white people with souls. I already addressed white people and souls. I already addressed that. Oh, you guys are communicating with each other. Can I do more lives? Um, I would like to. Yeah, I will, because now what I do is I back up record what I do in case they race or freeze something out of the a message out of the live. Yeah, I will do more live. I mean, if you guys come in and you support me, you incentivize me, you inspire me, because again, I planted seeds. My work continues even when I'm not here. And I don't know how much more clear I can make that. But yes, for the sake of keeping a communication, the line of communication going with you guys who prefer that, yes, I will do more lives. Yeah, karma is real. And you have even these beings who have quote unquote God status. When I say God status, I'm talking about gods who have never incarnated, who have not fallen. They are now even learning their levels to even godhood. So the things that a lot of them have done to manipulate, they have to answer, because that's what I say. Not even they can escape this stuff. It's a built-in mechanism of the mind, because the mind is what? The mind is the all. We're all in it. We're all under it. So what you do to another is ultimately what you do to self. All right. How do I know that I'm astral projecting? Because I don't know until I'm coming back to my body. That will come. That's something that no one can tell you. That's something it just has to play out and develop itself. The fact that you can remember coming back is a very good sign that you will eventually get to that place. For me, I would always remember the separation, and I'll remember some of the experience, but like I say, a lot of it becomes blocked off from me. I don't always remember coming back. Now I don't always remember getting out, because it's so instant for me now. But in time, that's what I'm saying. In time, I know I will get both of them, especially when these energies start clean up some of this. Because I'm in the area where the negative energy is very, very dense still, and it's hard for me to make that connection sometimes. So it comes with more experience and getting more in tune with yourself and consciously putting yourself in a space where you become acutely aware. When you know you're about to have it, you will know, you will feel the vibration. Now there are two types of vibrations. There's a vibration when there's something outside of you trying to manipulate or lock you down. But there's also the paralysis that happen when your mind wakes up before it syncs up with your physical body. That's why I say a lot of misinformation is out there. They pushing these people out here with this one-sided narrative. It's never black or it's never all this and all that. So when you're astral travel, you will feel the vibration coming from within. And everybody is different. Sometimes you may feel it start from your feet and it works its way up. Sometimes you may feel a vibration, tingle sensation that expands from your core on out. Sometimes you may feel your whole body, but you'll feel it coming from within. Whereas from the outside, if you feel it from the outside, it feels like you're suffocating. That's the best way I can explain how the difference between a paralysis, a vibration that kicks in because your mind woke up and your body is still asleep, versus something is outside of you holding you down. Something outside of you, you'll have the paralysis, but you can't breathe. You feel like you're suffocating, and if you try to yell, you can't, and it'll feel like you under a whole lot of water. If you try to yell, it'll sound like you under a lot of water or under lots of blankets, like you sound muffled if you try to yell out, call out to somebody. But you'll feel the vibration. And then, like I say, whenever you feel the vibration, don't try to control it. Just focus on your breathing and just let it happen and watch what happens. That's the quickest. I can go deeper on that, but I really have to go. One more question, and that's it. I should put my Cash App name in the live, bro. Okay. Thank you for that. Duh. I'm so busy running my mouth. But the thing is with this, I see on some of my lives, they'll turn the live chat off. But maybe I'll put it in the video description too. Now, I want to say before I go that what is happening on this planet is necessary, very necessary. You're going to see some negative things play out. But a whole hell of a lot of positives. The only reason why it seems like it's all hell because they push that to the forefront on social media and they keep that on the television. Then the people who plug into that, because that's in the forefront of their consciousness and they not working on themselves, then they keep talking about it and focusing on it. I'm telling you, it's a lot more positive things happening than you guys can begin to imagine. It's all good. Will there be a lot of people exiting at this time? Yes. Will there be people who will be exposed for what has been happening with children and a lot of corruption? Yes. Will we know who all of them are? No. It's not for us to know. What we really should be working on right now is fortifying our foundation and keeping that inner work going and keep your relationship with your higher power that's fortifying you and helping others who show a genuine interest in needing the help. Don't enable nobody. If you see people who are not really working on themselves and they're very needy, it's time to cut that and cut them off to their own vice, because they're going to drain your energy. You need to preserve and conserve your energy and use it in a way that is empowering, because these negative entities are still getting a lot of food from a lot of people who did not bother to build a solid foundation. And those are the ones, like I say, who are the most terrified, running around, talking about the world is coming to an end. No, the world is changing, drastically changing. Now, your world may come to an end if that's what you keep saying and focusing on, but don't bring that over here, and don't and y'all be mindful of what people speak on your life. You are the captain of your life. So you take control of it, or someone or something else will. Y'all, this soap is still in my hair. I do have some gray hair, but that's not gray hair. That's dried up soap. I guess I ain't washed it out good enough. But anyway, yes, I keep coming back to the fact that this is necessary and everything is going to happen just how absolutely. And you will see who's really who. Again, stop listening to what they saying and how and what they buying and how they dressing and how much money they got and all that mess. That's illusion. You look at the fruits. Look at what they produce. Look at what they produce. What kind of relationships do they have? What kind of family connection are they fostering? What kind of community are they building? Are they building anything that is creating bridges and understanding and ultra standing? If they're pushing and advocating for nothing but division, you better question that. And I'm not saying they're necessarily a bad person. They just may not know any better. But some of them, these people with these huge platforms, who are doing this stuff, they were strategically put there. No ifs, ands, so they were chosen. Just like people talk about the 144,000 who are chosen for a higher purpose, you had those who are chosen to do the opposite. I've been sub many years now. You're a brilliant man. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. What's funny? Oh, what I just said. Okay. All right, y'all. Well, that's it. I done sweared up a storm. Um, I enjoy this. I'm gonna probably have to stay up even later because now I'm getting ready to eat, and this is how I'm not thick because I overeat. I'm thick because I do a lot of energy work. But I do enjoy what I want when I want it in moderation. That's another thing. It's these trends. People trying to tell you you ain't spiritual enough if you ain't eating. See, I ain't even going to even go there. What you must do, you must find your own balance. If your core if your body is telling you you need something, you go and do it. But you give thanks to it. You put divine intentions in it. You consume it, but also exercise, drink lots of water, detox, fast periodically, and get your system cleaned out regularly. You will be fine. Trust me when I tell you. All right, on that note, I'm about to go. As always, my catchphrase, I love saying it because it's true. You are love beyond measure. Continue to question, learn, and grow. And again, thank you guys so much for the donations. Immeasurable love. Keep it growing and flowing, y'all. All right, I'm out.